one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you bash controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
The United States of America is the most successful nation the world has ever known. I think that's largely because we're the freest nation. Humans cannot reach their potential, cannot realize their dreams unless they're free.
If prosperity were easy, everybody around the world would be prosperous. If freedom were easy, everybody around the world would be free. If security were easy, everybody around the world would be secure. They are not. None of this is going to be easy. But this is the United States of America. It takes an extraordinary effort. It takes extraordinary commitment. It takes extraordinary strength. The Valley Forge wasn't easy. Going to the moon wasn't easy. Settling the West wasn't easy. We are the American people. We have seen difficulties before, and we always overcome them. This is about rolling up our sleeves. We might have some differences, but as Americans, putting our head down and getting it done.
Tell all the other curs the law's coming. You tell them I'm coming. And hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
For today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them. Let's roll.
You're listening to War. We are America Radio, a place where conservatives, libertarians, and Tea Party Americans come together to get the real deal news. No filter, and a lot of patriotic spirit. We are America Radio.
Here in moments.
The ultimate gala spectacle.
Holy Mother of God on earth and in heaven at the exact same time.
You want a piece of me?
You got it!
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again.
Let's not stand on ceremony here, Mr. Wayne.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree, here on War Radio. We are America Radio, your number one source for conservative news. No fake news here. We're not going to give you fake news. We're going to give you the real deal. Y'all like my new mic? Y'all like my new mic? This is a new mic. This is a new mic. Where's my co-host, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr.? What's up, Hutch? Got a new mic, man. This is a new mic. Yeah. It's not gold, but this is the mic that Rush Limbaugh used right here. What do you think about it? Yeah. Look into the future, man. Look into the future. The Right Time Broadcasting Network. Happy birthday. Thanks to my brothers for hooking up a brother. OG style. That's right. We got the mic. Let's see. What's that old song? Microphone. People gotta leave me alone. That's it. Oh, yeah? Okay. Oh, yeah. Flashlight, baby. Flashlight. Hutch Bailey, you ever, if you're ever at a convention or any place like that and you see me and Hutch, you gotta come over and shake Hutch's hand. Hutch is the most down-to-earth, whitest brother you have ever seen. I'm not playing. Hutch, you have got it going on, my man.
I don't care what it looks like.
Man, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Hutch Bailey Jr. is on. I had it on mute, Hutch. Look, I was so into the mic, I forgot to take you off, but there we go.
I was just saying, I'm echoing a little bit, but you're going to fix that. There, it's fixed. I was saying right before the program, I was listening to the Clinton family over at the English government, listening to a little George Clinton.
There we go. All right.
In Parliament. A little bit of flashlight to fire me up before the program.
Funkadelic.
There it is. Got to put my sunglasses on so I can see what's going on.
Let me bring in Stacy there for a second. I want to check this out. And bringing in Stacy Rush from Georgia. Georgia. What's up, Stacy? What's going on?
Good evening, Wayne and Hutch. I am living the dream down here in Atlanta. It's finally warmed up a little bit today. How are y'all tonight?
I love your Make America Great Again hat, that little red hat you got.
Thank you. I
noticed that.
I got it in like the Monday before we voted on Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, for some reason, I don't know. I think it was maybe one day last week. I was like, hey, wait a minute. She got on a hat. She look good too.
Thank you. I try to wear it as often as possible and love to get some looks out there.
You will get looks though.
You do. It's amazing to me. I'm like, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Exactly.
Somebody say something to me, please.
Exactly. I mean, I'll go into the store and I'll wear my hat, but I'll have on my sunglasses looking mean and nobody will say nothing.
I'll put on my pen every once in a while that says Big League on it for fun.
So, Hutch, wear your hat, man.
My hat, I don't have a hat. I gave it to my stepson, and he proudly wears it everywhere he goes, even in his Pittsburgh public school, high school. He wears his shirt, and he's not afraid, man. He amazes me. He really does. I mean, because it's not a real Trump-friendly area right here.
What?
Kind of like your area.
You the Godfather, though. Oh, no. I'm telling
Stacey's area.
I'm telling you, they don't mess with black people that wear these hats. They
my
mess with white people.
White.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, I get it. Yeah,
me, I'll wear it and I'll just make sure I have a conspicuous bulge on my right hip.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That'll slow him down. But no, I'm serious. I mean, I have noticed that. And I think I said this last week, but I'm going to say it again. The liberals broke up the black family in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. They broke them up. And they took they didn't take their father out. They ran the fathers out of the home, and they promised the moms, I tell you what, we'll give you money. For every kid you got, we'll give you money.
Let's do it right, though. Let's say the 60s, because in the 50s,
late 50s,
especially in Detroit, the biggest black middle class in the world was in Detroit.
Detroit, right.
And then LBJ tore it all up after that.
Yeah. But, I mean, people were knocking on the door. You know the story from there. But what they're doing now, because they have rid a lot of they're split black family homes. They've split. The liberal agenda has split. And don't let nobody tell you anything different. Republicans didn't do that crap. That was the liberal agenda that did that. And now the liberal agenda is trying to destroy the white man.
I was going to say, you remember, if you remember when Niger Innes was on the program one time, and he said that everything that starts in the black community ends up in the entire American community. And we're starting to see these problems in every other cultural or racial demographic in the country. I mean, single parent families are going rampant everywhere. It's not just the black community.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's the most in the black community, but it's growing in the white community, every community, Hispanics. It's a horrible thing.
And they're going hard at it. And if you don't learn anything on this show, if you don't learn anything, the one thing you have to take away from this show every freaking night is that the liberals won't quit. They won't quit. They're going to keep on coming. They're pushing this BS Russia story right now. They're pushing don't you find it crazy? Don't you find it ironic that the media is pushing this Russian story that, oh man, Russia helped Donald Trump. Russia helped Donald Trump. Donald Trump got help from Russia. There's nobody else but Russia. Russia helped him when they helped Hillary Clinton. They helped Hillary Clinton for months. She cheated Bernie Sanders and the media turned the other way. She cheated Bernie Sanders of the nomination, and I don't like Bernie either, but cheated Bernie Sanders of the Democratic nomination, and the media turned the other way. The media did not flag her down basically during the whole general election. They didn't flag her down. They didn't ask her the tough questions. They didn't slap her upside the head and ask her the real stuff. They just put Andrea Mitchell on her. What kind of chocolate do you eat?
How is she still at the helm?
Who, Andrea Mitchell?
Yeah. You look at her, so geriatric.
Her husband.
Nothing against old folks, but...
Her husband.
Yeah, who is that?
The head of the Fed.
The Fed, yeah.
What's his name?
I'm thinking.
Stacey Greenspan.
Alan Greenspan.
That's a visual you can't get out of your head.
Alan Greenspan. Death on a stick.
A very big stick.
Yeah.
What you're saying about the Russian thing. Let's think about that for a minute.
Let's
remember back when Obama was running and he told the Soviet the Russian president, who's really a figurehead, hey, just tell Putin, I'm at my last election. After I get elected, I won't have to run again, and we can make things happen then. The Clintons and the Democrat Party has been in bed with the Russians since the 50s.
Yep, sure did say that. Sure did.
Why would they want Donald Trump, and not only Donald Trump, General Mattis, all Kelly, all these other generals.
Mad Dog.
They're not going to want those people to be their adversaries. They're going to want people like they have now. They have a bureaucrat as a Secretary of Defense, Ashton Carter. He's been in Washington for years.
Guess what I found out about Mad Dog Mattis? He don't like Mad Dog.
What, Mad Dog wine?
He don't like the... He don't like the name Mad Dog. He don't. He does not. I learned it. I learned it when I was on WCBM last week. When I was sitting in and listening and learning some things, he don't like the name Mad Dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
WCBM, what's that? Do you have something going on with them?
Oh, should you ask? On Friday, we're going to take the show to WCBM. That's between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 hours, people. 3 hours we're going to be taking your calls. And you know how we do it on Friday. It's Open Phones Friday. So you're going to be able to listen to the show, listen to the Wayne Dupree Show on AM radio. You can listen to it on AM radio. You can go to the website, WCBM.com, and listen live. You can also listen to their app. They also have an app for the phone, WCBM 680, I think, in the App Store. You can check that out too. But I'm and usually I don't beg. I don't beg. And actually, I'm not begging now. I'm telling you, y'all call in on Friday morning because we are pre-rush, and we want to show WCBM all your beautiful voices, and just watch your mouth because this is radio. This is extra. I was going to say extraterrestrial. This is terrestrial radio. This is the real deal. So watch your mouth. Watch your mouth because the producer that I got, I think there's a delay, and he'll cut you. He'll cut you like C-SPAN does it. But C-SPAN will let you get off. C-SPAN will let you pop it off a little bit before they cut you off, though.
No, I found out. Go ahead, Stacey.
I hate hearing that, Wayne, because that means I'm not going to be able to call in.
I figured out why they have a problem in Scandinavia.
What is that?
Tune Time on the RSBN chat room says, Mad Dog 2020 is a very popular drink in Scotland. Well, that's your first problem.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. All right. Hey, going back to this Russian thing, they keep on playing. They keep on playing. It's a fake news. It's a fake news story.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Why do you think the media is so invested in pushing this Russia?
They hate Trump.
And they lost.
They're deathly afraid.
They have to delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency, honestly, they're doing what we did, or what some of us did in 2007 or 8, because a lot of people on our side said that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States of America. So, they did. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think he was.
A whole lot of people on our side was and we weren't afraid of it. We were like, show us the damn death certificate. Show us the birth certificate. And it took him 3 years to do that.
Show me the DNA with Frank Marshall Davis.
You do that, yeah. Well, he is Frank Marshall Davis Jr.'s son. And I don't care if y'all print that. I don't care. He's Frank Marshall Davis' son. He is a junior, but he's not Barack Obama. He's Frank Marshall Davis.
You got to believe your lying eyes.
That's right. Put the pictures close to. He ain't got an African bone in his body. He don't.
Communism runs around.
Communism all the way through his blood. I'm telling you, he ain't red for nothing. I didn't lose you, Stacey, did I?
No. I was just listening to y'all. Listening to y'all. He does look, I will say, he does kind of look a lot more like Frank Marshall than he does his dad. That is true.
I tell you this. The people on my mom's family side, they have, what are they called? The little things on it. Moles. Okay? Mm-hmm. They have moles on their face. Or on their neck or whatnot. They have moles. Barack Obama has moles on his 2 cheeks. You can't see them. I don't know whether they put a whole lot of that makeup on and stuff, but he has moles on the top side of his cheeks. And if you look at Marshall Davis, Frank Marshall Davis Jr., Marshall Davis has moles on the cheek, the high cheekbone. You look at his dad, quote, in Africa, just straight, smooth skin, just like Africans have. Now his
you're going pigment, are you?
Yep.
I knew it.
Now his white mama didn't have no moles on her cheeks. His mom didn't have no mole. Now she might have some new pictures on Google, but she didn't have no moles on her cheeks. Marshall Davis had moles. and Obama's thing. I'm a graphics guy. I look at things like this, and common sense says this is this. No matter how. I mean, how did the media slap down a whole lot of congressmen and a whole lot of people that they brought on the radio show or the TV show about Barack Obama's birth certificate? So you're telling me that you don't believe that Barack Obama was born in the United States of America? Yeah, he was born here. They scared people into saying what they probably weren't thinking. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we got to roll back to, Stacey. I'll tell you what, man. These people have started a movement to shut down the First Amendment, and we have to kill this. I mean, this is something that, wow, guys. I mean, you look at this misinformation bill that's coming out, and anybody that's against any of this stuff. I was listening to Reince Priebus trying to tell Chuck Todd, look, the RNC was not hacked. And Todd came back. What do you mean? Are you saying the Russians?
Yeah, he had attitude.
It's like, oh my God, man.
He
Weren't
had
you
attitude.
so proud of Reince Priebus? Though?
I was.
I don't think I've ever been more proud of him.
I was.
And that was a great exchange. And the whole premise of the New York Times story was that the Russians hacked the RNC and the DNC, and Reince Priebus, head of the RNC at the time, is sitting there stating for a fact as a source, no, we were not hacked.
Right.
So the whole premise of the story is incorrect. And then every CIA agent or intel agent who they quoted in the story was anonymous. And it's like, okay, so what are we going to believe here? And it was just amazing to see how personal Chuck Todd was making it. It's unbelievable.
Oh, he had a wobble, man. I mean, he had attitude, and Rich was like, "You need to calm down, man." Well, I am calm. I'm just trying to.
Well, what is your source? What is your source?
Yeah,
Where's your source? Yeah. I'm like, there it is, right there. Yeah. There was no source forthcoming.
Nope. No source.
I'm starting to hear that some people deep inside the intelligence community, which Barack Obama and his administration has corrupted, as he's corrupted every other thing he's touched, hate Michael Flynn. General Flynn, I think his name's Michael. They don't like him, so I think we got a serious problem. It's time to drain the swamp.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I find the whole thing interesting that, they're coming out with all of this Russia propaganda and the people who are backing it and not backing it. And it's just really the whole situation is interesting to me and speaks to me of kind of the establishment getting in bed with some of these rogue CIA agents just for that very fact that they're not a fan of what was his name? I'm so sorry. It's just
General Flynn.
General Flynn, and on top of that, not of Donald Trump, and they know some big changes are coming. So I do believe that they're trying to set this up as some sort of delegitimizing tactic, among other things. Maybe also to distract from Hillary Clinton and actually going after her as far as prosecution is concerned.
Let me tell you one reason why I don't believe this Russia thing. Back in July, they couldn't tell us who hacked the DNC because it was so it was done so well that they couldn't find out who hacked the DNC. They didn't know. I mean, they put out the Russians did it, but they didn't know who did it. I mean,
and on
the
top
NSA.
of it,
go ahead.
Too, I hear as well from some sources that that there were some Russian fingerprints left on the DNC documents, for instance, when they uploaded them. And my thought to that is, really? Do you think that they're that stupid?
Right.
I mean, these people are very good at what they do. And if there were Russian fingerprints left on any sort of document, whether it's the DNC hack or the Podesta email hack, that it was left there for a reason. And that is to put someone on a different path, and I find it just ironic that they're sticking with it. It's almost a joke.
But think about it, though.
When the congressmen do it,
you go back there. They don't know who did it, but they're saying the Russians did it, but they really don't know who did it. And now all of a sudden the CIA is coming out. It's irrefutable. The Russians did hack and help Donald Trump for the 2016 election. This is why people don't believe y'all. You can't even pull up 30,000 emails, deleted emails, but you can be so sure that Russia helped Donald Trump. And how? I mean, how?
And look at the history. Why would Russia help the people that are against Russia?
Right.
I mean, now maybe Donald Trump is a moderate figure, and I happen to agree with the fact that, sometimes you have to look at the world and say we have a common enemy. The number one enemy we have right now that's killing Americans is Islamist terrorists.
Yep.
And the Russians have the same problem we have.
Yeah, they do.
So just like in World War II, when we teamed up reluctantly with Russia, or with the Soviet Union at that time, against Germany, Japan, and Italy, and maybe we have to do that again. Maybe we don't have to say that these people are our ironclad enemies. Maybe we can get along with them a little bit, understanding that they're not looking for our prosperity. But the Democrat Party has been in bed naked with the Russians since the Soviet Union in the 1950s. Let's not forget that. That is the real history.
I don't believe Russia is our enemy anyway. I believe Russia is Obama and Hillary's enemy. I don't believe that Russia is the enemy of the United States. I really don't.
They are, though. Maybe not straight up an enemy like jihadists, but they would love to take over everything we have.
Well, and they would love to be a superpower again.
They are a superpower.
Absolutely. So I think that they definitely would love to retake that role. And with Barack Obama at the helm, they certainly have gotten a foothold into it. So it's interesting, that everyone seems to think that Russia wants Trump elected. And I find, why? When you've got Hillary selling, 20% of our uranium, and if they did indeed hack everything, they'd have her in their back pocket.
Yeah,
But did you see Harry Reid jumping up and down when Putin took over Crimea?
Yeah,
you didn't see that because he didn't do it.
Right. But look. My thing about Obama was he thought he was going to have leverage. Once he got elected, he told the former Russian president, "Listen." And he looked to his left and looked to his right. He forgot his mic was on. But look, I'm going to have a whole lot more leverage when this election is over. Okay, so you tell Putin he's in the mix. So they were friends back in 2012. And then Hillary took her Target red button for a reset.
And messed up the translation. It didn't even mean reset. It meant something crazy. They were so incompetent.
So all of a sudden, back then they were friends. Now all of a sudden they're enemies. The enemy can't trust them. Nope, you can't trust. Putin came out about a year ago and basically said this: Barack Obama is funding ISIS. He said it. He said it on the world stage, and Obama's feelings got hurt. And Obama said, "Oh no, man, Russia's the enemy. You can't trust them." Well, you're right. They called you out.
That was one of those InfoWar things that I was scared to cover. But it ended up being completely true.
It was true, yeah.
Yep. I mean, we're fun, and not just the Democrats, but John McCain, Lindsey Graham. I mean, we're funding these people. The Al-Nusra Front, they kept saying it was the Free Syrian Army, but then they were cutting out Christians' hearts and eating them.
Can you imagine that? And I'll give Glenn Beck all this credit too for this one, because he was the one that did a very particular TV special on his Blaze network about how the people we were backing were cutting out the hearts.
Yes.
Of Assad's people and eating them on video. And they were Christians. And they were killing Christians. Now, I mean, Think about it, yo. Where Putin is siding with Assad. Assad's a bad guy. Everybody knows he's a bad guy. He's done bad things, but he's siding with Assad and the Christians, and Obama's on the side of the rebels, who's eating the Christians' hearts.
I never understood it. I still don't to this day.
You know?
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, and I'm not, Hutch can speak to it much better than I can, but from what I understand, we need to stop pulling out of trying to change these regimes. Gaddafi and Assad, he at least let Christians be Christians in his country.
Yeah, he did.
And so I look at that and I understand. I get the fact that he rules with an iron fist, but he was allowing Christians and Muslims side by side, and now we've got ISIS out there doing exactly what you two alluded to with eating, the hearts of Christians. It's so disgusting. But
I saw the video.
You look at everything that this administration has tried to go into the Middle East and tamper with, and it's just turned into this big, huge mess. And you could even say that back to W. But you know what? Had we stayed with the surge, got Iraq settled, it could have been a decent ally, which Barack Obama certainly completely screwed up and now has added to it. And the Middle East is just a complete mess at this moment.
And none of this would have happened. None of it. We would have had air supremacy over the entire region. We had two of the most busy airports or airfields in the world, the DOD airfields. I'm talking about F-16s. I'm not talking about, TWA or whatever, but and we gave it away, and we're still supporting this regime to this day. And you look at Libya, what happened in Libya is Hillary Clinton, it was her baby, man, and she was in charge of the State Department. Yeah. And she pushed it in the administration, and they got rid of Gaddafi, and we never had a plan for after that. And now you have 100 different jihadist groups. Whoever the strongest one is runs Libya, and oh, what a mess.
Look, somebody put on The Godfather the night that Barack Obama decided that he was going to go do Michael Corleone and take out all the heads, all the heads of the Islamic states. And he just decided he was going to go and take out all the leaders. And just like I said, didn't have a plan to replace them, though.
Nope.
He just thought it would, maybe he thought that it was going to be like this. Maybe he thought it was going to be just willy-nilly crazy stuff, and it would be to his benefit. Maybe he might leave here and go over there and try to be president of one of those countries.
Yeah. Maybe that is what he wanted to do.
Maybe. He wants to be president of the world anyway, right?
You said it too. That's what he did too. He did do a Corleone.
Yeah, he took out all the heads of the people, and Stacey, Hutch, and I know that Gaddafi wasn't doing nothing.
No, he had given up his nuclear arms. He was almost an ally. Ever
since Reagan put a missile in his living room in the 80s, you didn't hear nothing about Gaddafi. And then when he came out, he came out when Barack Obama was became president, but he only came out to shake his hand and what's up, brother? But you didn't hear nothing about him. What was Gaddafi doing that Gaddafi had to be shivved in the butt and killed, man?
Apparently, he needed to get out of the way so that Hillary Clinton's cronies could make some money in the country. Quite honestly, that from reading the emails, it seemed like that was the main goal of the entire thing. There was no reason for him to be taken out. And I still don't understand it to this day either.
Hillary's deplorable hot sauce in the chat room says Gaddafi sleeps with the fishes.
That's true.
Look,
and they tried to do it. They tried to do it in Egypt, and thank God for General al-Sisi.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was the biggest group gathering of people protesting in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
when they came out against that, man. I mean, and the United States of America backed the Muslim Brotherhood.
He tried his best to put the Muslim Brotherhood in charge, didn't he? He tried his best.
He did it. But the Egyptians said, "Oh hell no!"
Exactly. They were like, "Y'all don't know what your president is doing." You remember the signs, and I still don't get that to this day. Muslim people over there making English signs better than some of the people over here making signs for protests. I mean, and it's all in English too. We hate Obama. Yeah. Signs. I was like, wait a minute, who's over there again?
And you had Richard Trumka of the AFL-CIO or whatever union he's in charge of now, making a video. It wasn't a tape, but it was like an address to Egypt saying, "We're with you, Mohammed Morsi." So the United States labor unions are behind the Muslim Brotherhood too. Yeah. Just remember that as we go forward.
Did y'all hear Obama the other day? No foreign terrorism has hit our soil since he's been president of the United States. Did that. Yeah, he said it. No foreign terrorism organization has hit our soil since I've been president.
And ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox News, everybody let him get away with it.
They let him get away with it. Right.
The fake news organizations let him get away with it.
And then, so that's why we're fighting back, because when they're calling out Donald Trump on certain things, I mean, fine, honestly, it's okay that you call him out on certain things. When you make up stuff, then you deal with us. You deal with us. You can't make up stuff like that and then expect us not to say anything. We are going to say something because we have big mouths. We ain't gonna let nope. Y'all have done all that stuff for 8 years. Y'all let Barack Obama run all crazy, all up and down the White House. Right? I mean, he really couldn't get too much crazy because his mother-in-law was in the house. But I mean, he all up and down the White House. He did anything he wanted to do, and y'all let him. Y'all let that man do whatever he want, and y'all didn't call him out. The black community didn't say a damn thing about Barack Obama for the 8 years. Comedians didn't talk about him for the first 6 or 7 years. Comedians talked about people that had questions that they want answered. Well, why did Barack Obama do this? See, that's racist over there. Why don't they just let this man alone? No, don't leave that man alone. That man needs to answer some questions. Why in the world are you telling people what day you leaving overseas? Why are you doing that? Why do you watch ESPN and Days of Our Lives when you're supposed to be taking intelligence briefings? And now, they're also trying to jump on Donald Trump for intelligence briefings. And we all know Barack Obama doesn't even stay a hot 15 minutes in an intelligence briefing.
Did he answer that like a boss, though? He said, "I don't need to hear the same thing every day. If there's something different, come tell me." Tell Mike Pence the same thing every day.
It makes sense, right? Yeah, right. It makes sense.
I was like, he's a boss, man. The music kicked in, the Thug Life music. It just like, boom, boom, boom.
Hey, did you, completely different subject, but speaking of him answering something like a boss, did you guys see him at the Army-Navy game? And it was so nice to see a man's man out there talking sport. I'm just loving the fact that he's making being a man cool again.
Oh, man. And
I'm proud of
not a single pair of skinny jeans was in the state.
No, there are going to be no more skinny jeans in the White House, and Stacey Rush is very happy.
Not a knee was taken.
You remember we were talking about the inaugural balls on January 20th. You remember I said, I'm telling you, knowing him, because he don't party.
Right.
He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink.
He stops in at parties.
He stops in, minutes. Right. So he's only going to 2.
Good for him.
He's only going to 2. He's only going to be at 2 inaugural balls. I don't know which ones, but he's only going to be at 2 inaugural balls. And I bet you dollars to donuts he's going to be right back in that Oval Office cutting out a whole lot of this stuff that Barack Obama has been doing over the past 8 years.
You know, for the sake of the country, I hope he dances with Melania at least for one dance.
Oh, I think he will. But I do think that this is going to be so different for the politicians in Washington because this guy is a doer.
Yeah.
He will go, and I think he will show up. He'll do a couple of balls. He'll dance with his wife. He'll do what he needs to do in that manner. But this isn't going to be a pomp and circumstance kind of presidency.
No.
This is going to be a presidency where the guy skips some of the BS to get down to brass tacks so that he can make a difference because it's really not rocket science.
You know, and he knows the protocol. You know, he's been to enough real high level events.
Oh yeah.
That he knows what he has to do.
Yep.
But you're right, man. It's going to be nice to see. And then when the business starts happening and General Mattis says, you know what, United States Army, you've been spending way too much time on equal opportunity and sexual harassment. From now on, you have to spend 25% of your time at the freaking rifle range. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Wayne?
I do, and I hope to see that kind of stuff because some of the stuff that's happened to our military, that's happened just throughout our country, that's just like everything is turned upside down, and it's going to be nice to have somebody who loves this country, loves our military, respects our people, and wants to do the best for Americans for a change. Right. And I think it's going to be a beautiful thing. I really do.
Let me tell you something. He loves America from the core. You can't go an hour. Seriously, I don't think you can go an hour without him saying how much he loves America. And I think he treasures the office of, he's bringing back that bust of Winston Churchill, I think. But you can tell how much he values the office of the presidency of the United States. There's no playing games with Donald Trump sitting in the White House. Okay. This man is going in there. He's got a job to do. He ain't all about no vacations. And I bet you in the next 4 years, at least one time he's going to tell you, I don't need to take vacations. I've already taken so many vacations in my life. We have too much stuff. We have too much stuff to do. And he's putting executives in offices or places where you usually see politicians because politicians don't know how to get stuff done. All they know how to do is go to Washington, stand up, argue, my friend. Okay, well, my friend. That's all they know how to do.
My colleague.
Yeah, my colleague. Yeah.
Hey, Frank in Florida in the RSBN chat room.
What's up, Frank? What's up?
Cracked me up a little bit.
What did he say?
Lindsey Graham wears Ivanka dresses. Just had to go there a little bit, because it has to be fun.
Yeah. I agree. He wears Ivanka dresses.
How about one thing that he did that I have been waiting for so long?
Who?
Donald Trump is confronting the F-35 procurement, which is so over budget.
Yeah.
It's an Air Force fighter that they're trying to push. And, man, he came out and said, that thing is out of control. My God, that's what we need. We need somebody to get in there and common sense.
Absolutely.
We pay 10 times too much for everything we buy.
Did you see the stocks go down? Did you see the stocks go down for Lockheed Martin?
Well, they should.
No, it was Boeing, wasn't it?
Oh, Boeing?
Whoever.
Yeah. Stocks went down, man. It's like, okay, well, y'all been living on funny money for a long time anyway.
Exactly. And it's because of people like McCain and Lindsey Graham. I mean, these are the people that are doing this.
Lindsey.
And we got to get it straight. We got to get, a bounce for our buck.
Lindsey.
Well, and there's no reason. So look here. Okay. So here's the other deal. No one's held accountable, right? I mean, Hutch, you and Wayne, you might know the specifics on this, but I remember seeing Kelly Ayotte was on some sort of committee looking into, like $2 billion that were lost from the Department of Defense, and nobody could figure out where it went. Like, why wasn't someone fired for that? How do you lose $2 billion and nothing happens? And so how in the situation with this and with Air Force One and being, two more coming on board and costing just this astronomical amount, why is no one held accountable to that? Because it's our money and we're not holding anybody's feet to the fire. So it will be nice to see a businessman come in there and say, what are you talking about?
Right.
How's a veteran allowed to be in a shower room for 9 hours and he's dead?
What are you talking about?
I mean, there was a veteran in, I can't remember which city, but I mean, I'm sure the chat room will figure it out, that was allowed to, he was taking a shower and he died in there and they left him in there for 9 hours and then they find him and they try to cover it up. The Veterans Administration and just all of this stuff, what Stacey said, people have to be held accountable. No, have you heard of anybody being fired from the VA after all of these things?
No. Not the IRS. Lois Lerner's still getting her pension on our backs.
Smiling.
Being targeted American citizens for their political beliefs, and no one gets fired. 4 people die in Benghazi and no one gets fired. Let me tell you, if I worked for a private security company and people that I was paid to protect sent me emails 6, 7, 20 times saying we need more security, and I denied it and 4 people died, I would not have a job.
Right.
Nothing ever happens, and I think the American people are sick of it. And that's why I think when everyone's in an uproar about Trump tweeting about, and when I say everyone, I mean the media, Trump tweeting about how much it's going to cost for Air Force One, we the people have had enough.
William Christo is stepping down as editor of the Weekly Standard. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Thurston Howell, my man.
Yeah, he's stepping down as editor of the Weekly Standard. He's going to be editor at large now, but he's stepping down from his duties, and Stephen Hayes will be replacing him.
He's just as bad.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. You know what? I have a question for the Never Trumpers, and I usually don't use that word. I usually don't use that word because I really don't give them. I didn't want to give them, like a platform, or I didn't want to highlight them, and I usually don't use the word Never Trumpers, but I was thinking about this afternoon. I was like, who are y'all going to go to now? I mean, you can't be just Never Trumper. You have to be Never Cruz too. I mean, if Cruz is, Cruz even put Trump's name in a bill. I mean, they best buddies now. You can't be for Cruz. You can't be for Rubio. You can't be for, you can't be for somebody else too. It's like, who do you have left? Jeb? Rand Paul? I mean, not even Rand Paul, but who do you have left that y'all are going to put your, I don't know.
They made foolish decisions, man. I mean, they should have seen the writing. And I'll highlight Stacey.
Maybe they'll run Evan McMullen into 22.
Yeah. But Stacey, an intelligent, super intelligent woman, totally against Trump for a long time, but read the tea leaves, man, like I did. I mean, some read them a little later than others, but you look at it, and it's you looked at the field, and you looked at what was going on with the Democrat side and what we had, and some people just could not understand that the Republican Party was polluted, corrupted, molded, and just out of sync. And they had been out of sync for several election cycles. We just didn't see it until this cycle. I could show you signs I had in my yard for Mitt Romney and John McCain, and I can't stand either one of them now. But some people were able to adapt and realize what was going on, and some weren't.
Country means a lot. When everything is on the line, country means a whole lot more than party.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it does.
And when you have a Hillary gun looking dead at your face, and you know all of the cheating that she had, that she can do, all the money that she can raise, you know, what the media's trying to do, then you were like, look, I got to get behind the others. I got to get on the other side of this. I can't. We can't let Hillary Clinton, right. We can't let Hillary Clinton be elected as president of the United States. We can't do that. We can't do that because I'll tell you this: we have a chance. Republicans have a chance to not lose the presidency for years. But if Hillary Clinton would have got elected, the Republican Party would have been done.
I'd have had to bury my guns.
We would have been done.
You're right.
That's the whole thing, and that's why I still never understood the Never Trumpers, because when you look at what was at stake at this election, and everyone who was a Never Trumper wanted to stand on their principles, well, your principles aren't going to get you very far, nor your children very far,
right,
if we have 4 more years of this, because you're talking 3 to 4 Supreme Court justices. You're talking about open borders. You are talking about potentially the state of Texas turning blue, and the Republicans would never win another election. So I just never could wrap my head around how you could sit there and say, because you weren't voting for either one, it wasn't your responsibility. Well, yes, hell, it was your responsibility. Yeah. Just like I got put on my big girl panties and I went and voted for McCain and for Romney.
Yeah,
and I actually ended up liking Romney quite a bit, but I did not like McCain.
Yeah.
And I knew what was at stake and went up and voted for the guy. And I still will never understand the Never Trumpers. I say give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
If he is acting like he is going to do what he promised to do in his campaign thus far, give him a chance. If he doesn't, come back to me, and I will say,
we'll
hey,
be his worst enemy.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I'll savage him if he doesn't. I promise.
Yeah, I'm with you, because I tell you right now, if it wasn't for me saying, okay, I want to see what these people can do, I would be savaging right now over some things that I'm seeing. Yes,
I'm liking stuff pretty much so far. We'll see.
There's a couple things that I got questions about. Goldman Sachs. I just got questions about it. That's all. I mean, just explain something to me. Talk to me. Just don't lead me to the curb and then walk away.
Don't pick Joe Manchin. Don't pick Joe Manchin.
Please. Hey, DJT.
The dude from Texas, Brooke Perry.
DJT. Please do not pick Joe Manchin.
No.
And put him in charge of energy or anything like that. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Well, Alicia got in my ear and said, and she's right.
You too? Yeah. I mean,
oh yeah. There is no Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin will get you negative press right here.
West Virginia does not like Joe Manchin. Now, you may have a couple, but West Virginia does not like Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin did not stand up for them, and I've been to West Virginia many times. In the past 4 or 5 years, I've been to West Virginia. I live in Maryland. I have friends in West Virginia. I go there and stay over there. Some of the nicest people that you will ever meet losing their jobs because of what Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton did.
In my professional capacity, I have 3 organizations, 3 shops in West Virginia. And let me tell you, that people like Joe Manchin and Barack Obama have created a meth infection down there.
Yeah.
These people are getting destroyed by drugs because of the lack of jobs down there, and Joe Manchin has a part in that.
Joe Manchin has a huge part in that. And what he does, it's sort of like a trick type of thing. He talks real smooth. He does. He talks real smooth, and so because he's not smooth, man. I'm telling you, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Senator Joe Manchin.
In his campaign ad.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
And then he came up and teamed up with Senator Toomey from Pennsylvania with some anti-gun stuff. No, don't pick this guy.
Nope. So that's the way it is. That's the way it was.
Is Mr. Wayne.
That's the way it was. Let me see. What else is on the tip of my? Let me see. 208. Let me bring in 208. 208, you on the line. What's up?
Yes, I'm from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
What's your name, Mr. Idaho?
Owen.
What's up, Owen? What's going on?
Yeah, I watch your show. I found it just before the election. It's pretty good. I'm watching it now.
Thank you, Owen.
My question on this insurance, health insurance, the government has military insurance. Why can't they remove them off of that?
Remove who?
That's a lot of money. My sister and brother-in-law are in the military, and the people that work for the government down there in D.C. have military insurance.
Oh. You're talking about...
Why can't they be like we the people?
Right. Okay, all right. Hey, Owen, thanks for your call. And you know what? Owen's right. As a matter of fact, I don't think that I don't think you should have a pension. I don't think the people that serve in D.C. should have a pension. You go there, you get paid whatever you're supposed to, and go back to your community and work hard in your community. I don't think that you should have a pension from day one that you are elected to Congress. And then he's right. Why do you have the medical insurance that military people have? Congress has some of the best medical. That's why Pelosi's standing around so long.
She gets those Botox injections free.
Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, and Silas Clyburn. All three of them older than water and twice as weak, and they still standing up in the House of Representatives because they got Hutch. I'm getting ready to say that they got our military insurance. We're not even in. Well,
you know, they ought to make them go to the VA.
Make them stand in line.
Yeah.
Make them stand in line. They're senators. They're representatives. They drive their car just like we do, except for Silas Clyburn. You know, they all. Yeah, that's right. I'm on them again. Silas Clyburn, you blocked me, you old coot.
You old no car individual.
917, what's up?
I want to ask a question. RSBN?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so will RSBN be continuing the camera in Trump Tower?
I don't know, Wayne. Is RSBN going to keep I noticed the camera was gone in the tower.
It is gone?
Any idea? Or maybe it's not. I'm not sure.
No, I know it was going on for a week, and then it didn't do anymore. I want to know if they're going to continue it again.
I'm sure that they will answer us just as soon as I let you go. But Joe or Jacob or anybody that is at the production room, the caller wants to know if the camera's going to be back in the Trump Tower lobby. Okay, we're going to take one more call before we roll out of here. Caller 517. Hello, caller.
517, your chance at fame. He doesn't care.
Yep. Some people, I guess, just call to listen. They just call to listen. Let's see. Jacob says, not that he's aware of regarding the tower. So I guess they aren't going to put the camera back at the tower.
That was pretty cool, though. I enjoyed seeing that.
That was neat.
Everybody going in and out of there. That was great.
Yeah. And some people were like, why are they going in there? You know, like Bob Gates.
I was all cool with the elevator dude, man. I'm like, that's a cool job.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob, remember Bob? He was up there. He kept on hitting on the podium, and he made sure as soon as the elevator went up, he hit the down button.
He knew he was on camera.
He did.
He knew he was on camera.
He was smooth. He's probably famous in New York.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to retire and do something like that, like tomorrow.
But not New York. I'm going to do it down in Florida somewhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are America Radio. We are going to be back here tomorrow night, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, RSBN will be broadcasting 24/7 starting in January. You don't want to miss that. President-elect did put out some new cities for his thank you tour. So make sure you check out his Twitter. Check out his Twitter. Yeah, and tomorrow morning, he also tweeted out, bypassed the media once again, that he's going to be announcing his Secretary of State, officially announcing the Secretary of State. So he could be throwing everybody for a loop. It might not be T-Rex. It might be somebody else.
You're right, man.
But I will say this. Somebody find out what is T-Rex's airplane plans right now. Somebody find out if Mitt Romney's supposed to be at Trump Tower tomorrow.
JR is going to be on the news tomorrow.
That's right. Stacey, how can people reach out to you on social media?
Well, thank you, Wayne, for having me. And Hutch, it was great talking with you guys tonight. You guys can reach me at DiscoveringMe40 on Twitter and The Right Rush on Gab.
And also Hutch Bailey Jr.? How can people
Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook and Gab. Berg's Eye View on Twitter. And catch the Wayne Dupree warm-up show, Cold War Radio, Tuesday, 8 p.m.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can always contribute to the Wayne Dupree Show. Just go to WayneDupree.com/donate. I see Pam C. And them talking about a project for Mr. Joe Seals, who will be on the show tomorrow night. You can also donate to the Wayne Dupree belated birthday that most of y'all missed. Oh my God!
I didn't miss it. Happy birthday!
I didn't miss it. I said happy birthday.
My people didn't miss it, but I'm talking about everybody else. Well, no, not everybody else. I'm just talking about some other people. So, WayneDupree.com/donate. Look, we love what we do. We love being here for you. God bless you all. God bless you all. We thank you. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Gab. Just type in Wayne Dupree Show. I didn't even know you could do live video on Instagram now, and you can. So that's new. That is new. But that's good. All right, so y'all have a great night, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Remember, Joe Seals will be on tomorrow.
Just say no, nobody knows why she dances alone.